Welcome back to the Leaderonomics show with Simon Treselyan. Simon, you know you were, I know you were a negotiator or or interrogator,
Yeah.
and you did a lot of those, I guess, in hostile situations, convincing people to do otherwise. I know many hostage negotiators who I know have actually teaching this skill to business leaders on how to negotiate and how to basically use the skill of influence. Tell us your experience and how you can apply the skills of negotiations into business.
Well, of course, some of the work that I was doing, you had to get people to literally see a different way of behaving, and that was your way. I call the stuff that I do persuasion dynamics, which is like neuro-linguistic programming and persuasive psychology on steroids. And I liken it to the art of allowing someone else to get your way.
Okay.
Yeah? Or to tell
The
someone...
art of allowing someone else to get your way. Okay.
Yeah. So you know where your way is, you just need to come get them on board. Okay. Or in negotiation, I term it the ability to tell someone to go to hell in such a manner that they actually look forward to the trip. Okay? So, see, the thing is that people are predictable. And people always want the best for themselves. But also, I do a lot of work with casinos as well. I actually show people, the surveillance teams, how to look for tells. Because, see, you can lie, your conscious mind can lie, but your subconscious can't. Okay. So your subconscious knows the truth and tries to alert you to the fact that you're telling a lie. Right. Now, this stops you from jumping out of windows thinking you can fly and things like this. Right. So it's actually built into your DNA.
And you can actually see your subconscious mind.
Absolutely.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So, I mean, for instance, you can tell whether someone's a father or not. You just take a picture of any baby and put it to the person. If their eyes dilate, they're a father. Okay. It's as simple as that. Yeah, and we used to use that in interrogation. It's a good way of getting leverage. But people have idiosyncrasies, whether they scratch their nose, which we call the Pinocchio effect, whether they start to pick up invisible bits of dust. These are all what we call tells. And you utilize that in the negotiation process, because what the person may be telling you consciously is going to be very different from what they know subconsciously. Now, if you actually know what you're looking for, that gives you the edge in communication. Now, this can work just as well in the negotiation table for hostage negotiation or big merger negotiation, all the way through to telling a kid or trying to get a kid to go to bed. There's no real difference. Or relationships. I mean, that's one of the biggest negotiations ever, isn't it, that you're likely to take place in. So all of these are skill sets that, and human beings are incredibly predictable in this way. And once you know what you're looking for, it's a very, very easy process to do.
Right. So Simon, you wrote a couple of books. This is your first book, Who Dares for Success, right?
Who Dares for Success.
What's this book about, and what are some of the key learnings from here?
The key learnings of this is basically 70 major principles that have been used by special forces or elite groups throughout the ages, and it links back into the 7 fundamentals of a special forces operation, which is selection and character, as we've been talking, the first thing. We then go into planning and preparation, skills, communication, execution, and results. So that's the whole range of a special forces operation, and each of those segments has 10 subsections. And literally all of the words that cover those subsections begin with the letter C, hence Special Forces. So it's a play on words. But so with things like courage and commitment and all of those real key areas which allows warriors to be able to move forward. See, what I have found in life and what I found in business is that I have yet to meet any company that has a uniquely desirable product that's price pointed where everyone can afford it with no competition. Doesn't happen. Coca-Cola, even they're big, they got Pepsi on their heels. Everyone has competition. What I have found is that the only way that you can get a legal monopoly is to have the best people working at peak performance and to retain them. So when you consider, for right now, we're just leading up to the World Cup.
Yeah, that's right.
The World Cup, everyone's going to be watching. It's going to be the biggest thing on the planet. Right. So, what we've actually got there is that you've got 16 teams that are all vying for being number one. Sorry, 32 teams. Now, what will happen during that time is that each of those teams is actually in a regulated form, if you like. They're a regulated industry. They're going to play on the same pitches, which are the same delineations. They're going to play for the same amount of time. They're going to play to the same rules with the same referees. They've got access to the same technology in regards to kit and boots. They're going to kick the same balls. Now, it's not about how many goals they can score, it's how many goals they can score in relation to the other team within the time frame. Okay? So what is going to actually stop, what's going to be the difference then between the gold, World Cup holders to the people at the wooden spooners? There's only one variable, and that is people. So that's the only thing you can train for. The person and the team that actually has the best, most adaptable team with the circumstances that can actually work together as a team to exploit opportunities as they arise in the time frame that is given to them within the rules of the game. You see where the analogies are in business, is that they will win. That's as simple as that. Now, there's going to be some luck as well, and luck comes in business ways by way of innovation or just getting a lucky break. It's going to happen that way. So football is exactly like business. It's no difference. So for a company, the company needs to ask themselves, well, if we got access to the same internet, if we got access to the same phone systems, the same marketing, the same TV and all that, where's our variable? Well, it's only with the people. So if you spend a lot of time and effort selecting the right people, and then you train them, and then you support them and resource them, you will win the game. You will win over your competition. And that is just a fact of life. And that has been crucial to all business success, all sporting success, indeed all success even in winning mates, and actually getting the girl, It's all about being the best in that moment. So that person can see it and go, that's for me.
Let's end with quick questions. Just some advice for three folks. First, a college grad. If I'm just graduating from university and I'm coming out, what advice would you give me?
First of all, I would say that most of the stuff that they're actually going to learn in university or college, they're probably not going to be able to apply in the normal world. Yeah, the fact that it's actually taught as a module means it's probably outdated. Certainly in regards to IT, technology, engineering, all of those type of things. So I would say that just because you've learned it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to apply it. I would say work on your personal development. Professional development can come later. People will employ you if they like you, if they feel that you're trustworthy, if they feel that you have integrity. I will try, don't do the BS. Just get in there and actually be yourself. Because if being yourself is not good enough for them, what are you actually saying, So for a college grad, I would actually say use the youthfulness that you have, use the intelligence that you would have, use the intensity of purpose. When you kick off to a flying start in that way, then the momentum will take you forward. And that's what I'll say to a college grad.
What about if I'm a HR director and I'm a HR leader for an organization? What advice would you give me?
Well, for a start, you are responsible for forming the team. Yeah? You're responsible for training the team. You're responsible for making sure that that team has all of the emotional and mental resources that are necessary to achieve the mission. So I'd say to an HR director, make sure you know what the mission is. So don't just fill up with people, because HR directors will tell you that their time is mostly taken up with problem children, people that don't want to be in the team. People that should never have been in the team in the first place. So if their selection is actually so clear in the first place that they get the right people, they're actually very, very easy to lead. So HR directors need to concentrate on that. Know what the mission is and see where the fit of the right people in the right time. It's almost like being on the right bus, but in the right seats as well. And then motivate them towards moving towards the mission.
And the final one, if I'm a CEO of an organization, what advice would you give me?
Well, for a CEO, make sure that the people that are reporting to you do have the same values, integrity, and all that sort of thing, so you can trust them implicitly. If that business cannot work with you at the helm, you haven't got a business. So you need to have a key area. You need to be talking to probably a maximum of 3 people in a day. So for instance, when you look at the President of the United States, he's got a massive amount of problems to deal with, but he talks to one person, his Chief of Staff. And his Chief of Staff speaks to like 5 people. They speak to like 5 people. So that what you find is that it cascades upwards. And therefore, the CEO needs to be able to steer the ship. He needs to have the vision. Just like a captain of a ship. He's not going to go down to the galley and make sure that the meals are warm. He's not going to go down to engineering, So he needs to make sure that he stays on course. And that's what I would say to a CEO. Make sure that your next level of command are the people that you could absolutely trust implicitly.
And finally, the last words, what advice would you give our audience?
Well, I would say always strive to be the best. Why be mediocre when you can actually be the best? I always say that amateurs will practice until they get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong.
Fantastic. Simon, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you
Simon
very much
Treselyan
indeed.
on the Leaderonomics show.
Thank you.
Thank you.